Welcome, everyone. Okay, I need to make sure everything's working properly. You're on? Cool. Cool. Boop. And, okay, perfect. Okay, there we go. Let's turn on the. We're turning on the compressor because we need to varnish some mechs. So we're gonna let the tank fill a bit. We know. No worries. I appreciate you. I am kind of a raid and run person myself most days. Shut up. Damn, this thing. There we go. Okay. And because I was smart and actually, did a good job with it, I don't actually have to clean my fucking airbrush before I use it today. Fancy fucking that, eh? Oh, goddamn. I hate when paper towel does that. And by that, I mean a corner of it rips as I'm trying to pull a sheet of it off. Haha, there we go. Now. Okay. Decent amount of that in there, and let's get going. Come on. One more spot I need to get on that. Yeah, I decided to be somewhat fancy with these. I'm not going to fix it because this was more of a proof of concept. And danger stripes in the back for the rear arc because that's the most dangerous spot for another mech to be in. Oh. Need more discs. Okay. Shit, I need to. Well, I guess technically that's still correct because it is going from midnight of the 27th to midnight of the 28th, so I don't really need to change that. Um, I'm talking about the thought call out that just happened. Um, doing Extra Life this year with my podcast mates. And well, the podcast YouTube stream slash also my Twitch stream is going to be up for 24 hours. Um, which means I'm going to be up for 24 hours over that. It would be awesome to have the community there watching me slowly descend into madness. There we go. It's about as good as I'm going to get that. So now it's time to clean this motherfucker. Okay. Go there. Already did the priming that I needed to do. So these can just get the fuck out of the way. The only unfortunate thing about the whole Extra Life thing is because I'm the one that's going to be there for the full 24 hours, I have like a 3 hour chunk of time that there's like just me. So I kind of have to figure out what the fuck to do during that time. So I'm thinking for that part of the that stream, I'm probably just gonna talk TTRPGs for like 3 hours. Which means that I'm gonna have to come up with some sort of a scripted. Fucking hate writing scripts for myself. I always feel like I'm fucking. I always feel like I sound pretentious when I write my own script. Should be fine. Point. And okay. So there's those. Those are those being the mechs. They are going to chill out for a bit. And here. But while they're doing their thing, I got this little guy here. You know, he is just a funny little guy. Just a little wizard with feathers and wings. Now what I need to do is I need to figure out what colors I want to paint. Ow. Fuck you, AI. Okay. I want something. Don't think I could pull off a snowy owl. As you can see, I'm looking up reference images as I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I think I might have to go with. Ooh, hold on. Probably do a blue. Because, like, I'm seeing that there are owls that apparently have blue feathers. Now, that being said, I'm not 100% sure how many of them are fucking AI. And if anybody doesn't know, but fuck generative AI. So, okay, I could do something with some blue. Do I have a small enough dry brush to make that work? Maybe. I could go like white and brown slash white and beige, but that's kind of boring in my opinion. Um, I think I might do is stick with like the off white for the base feather color. I mean, or I hate when if I do white, I'm gonna have to do blue with it. As like I can do brown because like from the images that I've seen thus far, um, like it looks like in nature the blue is sometimes on top of brown, which could look cool, but I think that looks kind of janky myself. Okay. So we're just gonna go simple. We're gonna do off white and probably sepia for the feathers. Um, I might do the face itself, like around the eyes there, like around the eyes and beak. I might do the face just white. And then kind of off white and brown for the rest of the cloak. Oh, that's okay. So here's my plan. And if anybody in chat right now is thinks this sounds dumb, feel free to let me know. I probably won't take your advice, but feel free to state your opinion. So feathers, I'm going to do a combination of white, off-white, like beige, and sepia. And that goes for little feetsies at the bottom as well. Then for the cloak, or I guess cape thing, shirt and pants. I think I'm gonna do those in blues. Do like a Payne's Gray for pants. Do probably phthalo blue, green shade for the tunic, and then hit the cape outside of that with fucking cyan. And probably do the hat itself with some Payne's Gray, and then line it with gold, maybe? Yeah. Okay. So, we have a plan. Let's see how long it takes until I fuck that plan up. Shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna grab this one here, because this is the off-white. Or the lighter of the off-white, because I think I have another mix. It's a little darker. Oh, yes. And always remember, coffee is love, coffee is life. You know who I haven't seen in a hot minute, even under one of their like aliases? Fucking Morbid. Or whatever the hell he was going by the last time he was on Twitch. Also known as one of the few other people on Twitch that I can talk to about, like, paint. Come on. There we go. One of the main reasons why I thought that is because, like, using a vortex mixer to mix up the ink blend that I have here. And I distinctly remember him making a comment, like, ages ago that inks don't like vortex mixers. They don't mix very well. Allegedly. According to him. Grab a 0 to start with this. We're gonna go in and do some more targeted swipes, but I want to get these clawsies on the feetsies. Probably hit these with a second layer and then go over them with some of the lemon yellow that I have, as it is a transparent paint or transparent ink. So it should, keyword should, let enough of the off-white, like enough of the beige-ish through that. No, I think that's just more. Yeah, I'm gonna just paint it as more feather. But yeah, I kind of wanted to poke the bear. I kind of want to poke the bear a bit and be like, "Hey, you said that this doesn't work, but I've proven you wrong." Because both Liquitex and De La Rowney inks are okay with being hit with the Vortex Mixer for a minute. So with the hands, yeah, that one I'm gonna need. I think is it that one? I got another. No, it's gonna be yeah, it'll be that one. That's the one that I have the medium in to kind of thin it down a bit, or not thin it, but make it a little bit more transparent. Like all your friends have turned to foes, stay away. Go close, you're scared of losing all you know. Take my hand and don't let go. Take a hold and don't let go. Feel me flowing through your bones. I am the whole broken souls. Have you ever felt alone like all your friends have turned to foes? Go close, you're scared of losing all you know. Take my hand and don't let go. Take a hold and don't let go. Feel me flowing through your bones. I am the hope of broken souls. That's the first part of that. Eatsy's another hit with paint. The tips of the claws, I'm going to do black. Um, First, what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to set that off. Actually, we're not going to set that off to the side. We're going to turn it around a little bit. We're going to clean off our brush, and we're going to take the one that's a little bit darker, the desaturated brown. We're going to put that as the first layer for the wood flooring. So that also needs a little bit of a shaky shake. And by shaky shake, I mean mustache ride on bird. Starting with this brown is going to be nice. I should probably have this underneath the camera so everybody can see what the fuck I'm doing, eh? I'm pretty sure that's why you're all here. Not to hear me yap on about things. Okay. That's going to be the base of the floorboards, and then once that fully cures, the plan is I'm going to hit it with some just straight up sepia. So it'll have a little bit more of a like a wood floor type look. I may even on top of that hit it with my not so Nuln oil to kind of give it like a dirty walked on type look. I think that might look cool. Okay. Okay, so actually we're gonna grab next a touch of white. Because I'm trying to work from the inside out. Um, and I think the eyes. I might need to take another look at like a reference image, but I think the eyes I'm gonna do as like pretty much just black. I should need about that much. I just kind of need it for the face and the hands, really. Yeah, it's great. Done anyway. Kind of at the ugly stage right now, but I mean, this is only the technically what third color I'm laying on this right now, so I guess fourth if you include the primer, which we don't. Primer does not get included. Primer not included. Okay, now let's kind of wait on these here hands. And yeah, I might actually even go over some of the white with like specifically on the hands, with some of the sepia and kind of try and remove it before too much of it gets like before too much of it starts to cure. Kind of to attempt to leave it only between like the fingers and make it so that like the white is still there, but you can see the brown. Because even with my like little reference image look there, um, I can see that like with a lot of the images of owls, that you could see like with the two colors, there'd be like you could see brown, but you see white underneath at the same time, and I kind of want to try and go for that effect on the areas that I've painted white. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the Lello, the mellow Lello. Just yeah, I don't need the brown anymore. I'll just stack those. And I want, instead of a 0, I need me a 00. Double up brush, come hither. You, you. Way more paint than I actually need. Ooh, I did not clean you properly. Apparently. So, time for brush care. You know, I should set up, because I can use voice commands with StreamerBot. I should set up. I should go through and figure out how to set up voice commands so that I can have it do shit when I say specific phrases. Might hit that with some more of the off white just to kind of bring that yellow down a little bit, but actually maybe not. It's not super bright. It's not like it is a lemon yellow, but it's not like a super bright obnoxious yellow. I think I might. It looks fine. So now what I think I want to do is we're gonna break up the black. Go with it. Okay, I have that labeled as a wash. It's less a, I guess it could kind of be a whitewash. More just a desaturated white, but either way, I'm getting fucking sidetracked. I need a little bit of this because I just need it for the eyes and the claws on the end of the footsies. Let's. Right. Oop. And you can't see that one. Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't mind doing eyes on owls. Because most of their eye is pupil. Okay, that looks kind of charming. Um, yeah, we're gonna stick with that. Did I overpaint on? Not really. I can kind of touch them up. We're gonna, yeah, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Um, floor needs a little moist. Okay, so we're gonna move on then from there to the Payne's Gray. So for anybody who doesn't know, who may be watching, Payne's Gray is effectively a gray, but what if you used blue instead of white? One of those colors that we were like, you know what? Nature's palette doesn't have this color, so we're going to make it ourselves. A little bit. This one should be. I hope that doesn't. That's going to spread. Fucking spread. It's going to be contaminated. We'll pull from this stuff. Yeah, that was a waste. Well, we'll start with this, and then we'll put a little bit more paint spray on that. Camera. There we go. Wouldn't have minded so much if it tried to mix with the black, but with where I put it, that was kind of an impossibility. And I know this guy doesn't necessarily match the look that I've given the rest of them because I've done the rest of them, I think, mainly in black and red for coloration. But you know what? I don't care. I think having the blue tones on this will be nice, and I want a bigger brush for this. We're going to go back up to the 0, I think. At least for now, we're going to leave that off the side, though, because I probably want to use it again. A little bit of a bigger brush. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of using Payne's Gray or similar when you want to do something that's like dark but not like black. Like it's actually one of my ever since I started using these inks, it's one of my favorite bases to use for like a starry sky pattern. Oh fuck! If I was thinking about that, I would have done that for the cloak. Go between these guys. Probably, like I've had to do with a few others, I'll probably have to do another couple of layers on this, but that's fine. Um, alrighty, let's come in here now. Mhm. There we go. So I think I'm going to kind of change how I had this planned out. I was just thinking about it as I was doing the hat there. Um, we're gonna do a little bit of a swappy swap. Originally, I was planning on doing the cloak with the cyan. Instead, I'm gonna do the shirt with the cyan, and then the cloak I'm gonna be doing with the phthalo blue. Uh, so there's a little bit more contrast, kind of working with that. Um, his little bag there might do that as brown, just to like because like leather and shit like that, and to add a little bit of a difference and some visual interest, as it were. And then this way, like I said, the contrast is going to be a little bit more apparent with doing it this way. Be about that. On the floor, it's glorious. You stole my heart, I tore out your organs. And it's dropping me supplies. This late night, but there's just a spot of day aside. You know, and it's more than I can bear when you're not there. It tears me apart. I swear I'll rip and tear my way to your heart. I guess I could be a little less specific on. That's sure. Thought I fucked up for a second there. Well, granted, I'm using a lighter blue color, and well, I'm using cyan, which, well, I guess yeah, it's could be classified as a lighter blue. Um, that bit there, I do probably black, like the little strappy bit. Supposed to be another book? No, it's not. Looks like it's front of shirt. At least that's how I'm gonna paint it as front of shirt. Yeah, that'll look nice. And the darker blue on the cloak on the outside is gonna like help tie everything together, which is kind of the key. Once again, one shoulder pad with what looks like a bit of armor on it. And then is strapped for back. Okay. At least that's what I think it is. That's what it looks like anyway. Okay. Enough faffing about. Or as one of my old PvP or TTRPG groups used to say, enough wanking about. Because that's what we used as a phrase when people were just fucking around and not doing anything. What's nice is I can actually use some of the time, some of the dead time, getting back to what I was talking about earlier with the 24-hour stream. Um, End of this month, by the way. But no, one of the things that is actually kind of nice about that is I can use some of that like 3 hours of dead time to put together more maps for the mothership campaign that I'm doing with the podcast. Again, monthly streams. You should check out our YouTubes for that. Link can be found on danielsdreadtales.com. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Shameless plug. And I'm crossing my fingers and hopefully I'm gainfully employed by then, because then I can comfortably drop some money on that myself. Cute. Maybe a little bit more. Gitsmix, welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you very much for the raid. Raiders, how are you today? How was stream? No worries. I appreciate the raid and run. Have a great rest of your evening, and thank you very much for raiding in. I appreciate you. So, for those of you who are sticking around, I am painting up a little owlin dude. He's a wizard. Cherokee, welcome in. I've also been kind of shilling the 24-hour podcast stream that's going to be happening in 2 weeks now. I'm going to assume that's another book based on the way it is being held and carried. We're going to treat it as such. Gonna shoot video. Checking it in San Diego. Yep, no worries. Do what you gotta do. there. Well, thankfully, I haven't painted that yet. So I don't have to go over too much of it. That is going to be the trap. More of the fallow back here. And make it a little bit more robust, I guess, would be the correct word. More vibrant, even. I think that would be a better word. Ooh, I think what I'm gonna do is when I do the uh weathering slash not null layer on the bottom of this for the wash, I think I might go over the tails of the coat as well. Because like if it looking at it, it kind of spreads on the floor a little bit, so it would be a bit dirty. So to kind of tie everything together, I think that would look pretty nifty. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna actually look pretty nice. Just criticizing Beethoven. I need to do. I'm actually going to need to clean this brush. This is the downside to using inks: is they wick so damn quickly that that like it's it's one of those things that you need to make sure you're cleaning your brushes, otherwise you're going to go through them quite a bit. And you know, you always want to maintain your brushes and whatnot. Make sure they're clean. You take care of your tools will take care of you. This is in the back. Yep. Bam. All right. Sip the coffee. Mm. Fucking love coffee. Great. Yeah, okay, we'll continue using the zero. So I'm gonna pull out another one of these and kind of just have it off this. No, we're gonna stack it. I don't need that blue again, at least not for a little bit. Um, this is my sepia. Yep, that's my sepia. Give it a bit of a give it a bit of a spin. Little mustache ride on Bert. There we go. You know, I really enjoy when my stream works with the minimum of jank. Though I think one of the things that I'm going to be doing in the semi near future is I'm going to be actually changing a couple of things on the back end of my streams. I found a new way to do an animated PNG. Well, animated PNG using using an add-on for OBS. I at this a bit. There we go. A little bit of variance in the feathers, as you would see. And it'll give a little bit of a difference since I am using the same, like I'm going to be using sepia for the ground as well. So I want this to be, I want it to have a little bit of a difference. So if I can just pat some of this off, that's fine. There we go. Also using this opportunity to start the beak. So the beak I'm doing kind of different. I'm doing it brown base, and then I'm going to go over it with the lemon yellow. That was kind of a decision that I just made. Welcome back. There we go. There we go. Ah, little variance in the coloration on the wings and like featheries. Now, here. Slide into the void. Fuck you, bot. Those of you who may be confused, the only ones who can see that the bot that just came in most likely are those who have mod view. Though Sharky, you might, if you can still see the chat message, any chance you could just toss a report to Twitch for me, if you're not otherwise occupied. I would do it, but as you can see, I'm currently knuckle deep in miniature. And I will probably forget by the time I'm no longer knuckle deep in miniature. That's gonna look great once everything is dealt with. Like that bit of brown. Oof. Fucking chef's kiss. Nice dark brown ground bit. Actually kind of insane how much of this I've gotten done in an hour and a bit. So apparently I can paint quickly. Um just not all the time. Okay, so fuck it up. You're the one. So I am actually going to need 0. Because a bit right over there. That's better. Mm. Yeah, it's because for some stupid reason the app doesn't allow for mod view. But I mean, if you're doing something else, don't worry about it. They're already labeled as a likely ban evader, and it's restricted, so like the only people who would be able to see it would be you and I. Um poop. I actually need that smaller nah, deal with this. So we're gonna start first. We're actually not gonna use the sepia for this next little bit. We're gonna go to no. We're gonna go to the transparent raw umber. Mm. So. Put a couple of coats on this one. As usual, I know I say that a lot. I actually hit the bottom of this bag with a little bit of the not nuln as well. Like, what I'm picturing here is this little owly dude basically kind of drags his book bag and such around with him as, or with them as they're doing their thing. And, it's dragging on the ground, so obviously it would be a little bit dirty at the bottom. I think that will look rather nifty. So basically just said that I can't tell if that's supposed to go over or under. So you are just going to be part of the shoulder strap. Because I said so. Now I'm actually curious to see if I can get this fully painted up within 2 hours. Um, use this one. Make that sound. That's better. That should be as much of that as I actually need. Actually, that'll be more than I need. I'm really bad with that, like putting too much paint or ink down. Layers of this. Okay. No. darkens just a little bit. Fucking look at that. It's actually turning out to be a almost a completed miniature. Like, check this shit out. I could almost feel comfortable putting this on a table as it is right now. Almost. There's still a little bit too much gray for that. You're going to need a touch more of the black. This is probably actually the last of the black I'm going to need to use. I'm going to be straight up. As I really only need a small dude. Actually, not even that much. Like, I could have touched my paintbrush to the dropper and probably had more than that. My cat playing with her toy. I hear it squeaking in the distance. All of these, they all have the same colored crests on them. Because that's how I do shit. And that is all I need for the black part of it. I might have to redo the black on the inside of that. Just because fucking... Okay. So now I need to figure out what I want to do with the books and scrolls and shit that they're carrying and the scrolls in their bag. I could do the basic off-white, or I could do the darker off-white for like the paper. Shouldn't do the basic off-white. We're gonna just do a bit of a quick mixy mix. Touch. That's one of the things that I actually like doing when I'm painting stuff, like especially fantasy stuff. I don't like doing any sort of like paper and shit like that as just straight pure white. Because like think about it. It would be ridiculously rare in a even in I would say even in a magical society that is essentially technologically in the Middle Ages, it doesn't make sense that all of the paper would be like bleached white. Like, there would be a little bit of a natural like color to it. So that and using a lot of like straight white, I find is boring as shit. So rather than being boring, make it look a little bit more interesting. The book's facing that way. I don't need to do this edge. At need to do the bottom, at least a little bit. I didn't really need to use the bottom of that one. And I'm going to say this is probably some paper too. At least that's what I'm going to paint it up as, even if it's not supposed to be paper. Just picturing this guy carrying a metric shit ton of stuff. You know, like the nerds that get made fun of in high school, or used to get made fun of in high school. I was one of those nerds. Um, well, sorry, no. I was a poor kid, so that's why I got made fun of when I was in fucking high school. I was also one of the potheads that hung out behind the school. That nobody would have guessed that one. So book the first, we're gonna use a little bit of Napthal Crimson. We're gonna give these books a little bit of color and panache. Do a little bit of touch up on the. Um, where is that purple lake? That's the one I need next. Ooh, actually, hold the fuck up. A little bit more of this. I'm actually going to go on to this one here. That looks like it's just like a piece of paper stuck between two books. And I think that will be a lot more visually interesting doing it that way as well. Hold up. I do need this. a little bit more. I would like. Here we go. Who knows? Maybe it's a note from a secret admirer. And they're trying to find them because they want to know why they wrote them an ominous note. Yeah, that's right. I said a secret admirer gave them an ominous note. Okay, shake, shake, and we're going to give you a little bit of a mustache ride just to make sure that everything is incorporated nicely. There we go. Oh, actually, before I do that, I need. Are you triple zero? There you are, triple zero. There we go. That'll work. Figured I may as well do that now while I have the red there and available and usable. Usable. Tiniest little drippy drop, because that's all I need. Way more than I have. Now carrying their books. You know what? I think I'm gonna do their scroll rollers as purple too. But not all of them are gonna have scroll rollers. Some of them are just gonna be rolled up. There. Look at that. So I just need to do some metallics now. Then I can call this ready for varnish. Fucking, I love when it works. And really need to. So you're gonna go away. Metallic, the first that we're gonna use. I'm gonna continue using the bottom of these because, well, it works and it's right here. We got gold, and then the homemade dark metallic. It's been a hot minute since I've used this, so I need to give it a bit of a thorough mustache ride on Bert. You know, it's gonna be sad when I get a new desk eventually, because eventually I am gonna need to get a new desk. This isn't gonna last me forever. It is nice and sturdy, but I need more space. Like I need more shelf space. Also, I should probably organize the shelf space that I do have. Come on. There we go. Stop fucking gluing yourself to yourself. Jerk face. Fine for that. It's really just the shoulder pad that I need this for. Some water into that cup. So I can properly prep and or clean my brush as needed. There. Like I said, that's all I need from the gunmetal. Pardon me. Pardon me. Now it's time for the gold. I like gold. Smoking a pancake, bonging a blitz, piping a crip. And if I had my option for that, it'd be a bong and a blintz. Not because of the blintz, but because of the bong. And if anybody doesn't get the reference, it's from Austin Powers, Goldmember. Little bit of gold. Again, will be more than I need. Wait. Getting the edge of it is going to be a pain, though. Like the outside edge. Oh, damn it. couple of spots, I think. I have to tap the red as well, but that's fine. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so. And thankfully, with acrylic paints, they dry usually fairly quick, depending on the paints you're using. Here. Ah, damn it. That was some black. Or some paint spray again. Mostly looks good. Angle just a touche. Just a touchy. Have to do one more little cleanup pass with the paint spray. Kind of expected that anyway. Especially because, like, on first pass, I am never fucking all that neat. Probably should have like put some yellow on this or something first. Make sure that the gold is doesn't look thin. Which would have allowed me to do this in one go. But since I'm a bit of a dumbass sometimes, fine. Now we're gonna go back to the Payne's Gray. Ah, wrong one. No, not the 2. You know what? The 00 will be fine. Yeah, fuck it. I'll just do fresh Payne's Gray. Not like I don't have anything I can put it on. Alrighty. Just need this for touch up. I don't really need all that much. Over paint from over here. Yeah, if I can. I don't know why this popped into my head earlier, but like when I was living out in BC years ago, my brother fucking was talking to me about getting like he was talking to me about him getting me a job at a local detailing like car detailing place like paint shop, and he's like, oh, you know, do you have steady hands? And like my only response is I paint miniatures. Like you need steady hands, at least nominally steady hands to be able to paint miniatures with any real success. Like at a sorry, I should rephrase that. To paint at an above basic level, you need to be able to have steady hands when it counts. There are ways to work through and around that, obviously, as there is with fucking everything. Use this number one. But like as far as just straight up, you know, painting goes without too many assistive tools, you kind of need to have at least nominally steady hands. This is just for the victory lap anyway. Because, yeah, I'm gonna fucking call this here because I think this guy looks rather charming. Well, it's almost done. I still have to do the final wash. But I want to do this first because doing the wash on the base, like the Nuln wash, isn't going to really fuck with this. So the plan guaranteed will be I'm gonna varnish this guy tomorrow night. Um, probably attempt to do that towards the beginning of the night. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna pull out one of the last few of these guys that I have left, prime them, clean the airbrush, and then varnish this guy. That should give the whichever other one I choose time to cure enough that I can start the painting process. Almost like I have a plan. Yeah. Just a silly little guy. That's all he is. Just a silly little guy. Ooh, since my birthday's coming up, if anybody wants to get me a birthday present, I could use a new ultrasonic cleaner. I kid. I kid. Is jokes before anybody's like, oh, you're begging for money. I'm not. I'm making jokes. Though, fucking amusingly enough, so back when I was in college, so this is going back like 20 years now. Um, I was between classes. I think we were just had like a fucking 30-minute gap between two of the classes that I had that the day that this story took place. So like the other culinary management students and I were just kind of chilling out in like the hallway area near where our next class was, because none of us felt like getting drunk before class. And dude was coming out of the building that we were like towards the front of with a whole like with a cart full of fucking wine bottles. So like he's having a little bit of a struggle. So I decided to give him a hand and be like, hey, you need help? Help him through the doors and whatnot. Because it was like one of those situations where it's like doors, not a lot of space between. Um, so like after he gets the cart out, I look at him, 100% joking, trying to have a jokey, jovial tone in my voice, and I know my voice is fairly monotone, which I think is why a lot of people use my streams as a uh, ASMR. I'm gonna go to sleep now content. Um, but no, fucking I make the joke, and I'm fully joking, not intending to be serious, anything like that. Dude goes through the cart, pulls out a half bottle of ice wine, and goes, "Here you go, it's yours." I'm like, "Sure, thank you." So yeah, that's story time. Um, this should be yeah, that's right. Because the varnish is over there, or not varnish, the primer's over there. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Donkey. Okay, so now we're gonna put a bunch of this on the bottom. Some of it on the bottom of the cloak as well. It's to be a little bit dirty on the bottom. This isn't going to be going all the way up. But it is going to be going all the way. Wait. There we go. Nice dirty floor. Okay. So I'm going to call this done. 2 hours and 2 minutes from primed to ready to varnish. I'm going to say I am pleased. Like it's, I think my painting speed over the last almost 4 years. Holy shit! It's almost been 4 years that I've been streaming. I don't need that on. I'm pretty sure my painting speed has gone up since I started painting. At least since I started painting live on Twitch. So yeah, I think it's interesting to see the improvements because anybody who's watched me for long enough knows that even a year or two ago I wasn't getting shit pushed out all that fast. Granted, I was doing a lot of historically I've done a lot of batch painting. So that will slow things down quite a bit. But 2 hours till ready to varnish, I'm happy with that. So what we're gonna do is I am gonna call it here because we are at the 2 hour mark. So I'm gonna hit that button there. Grab this. That light off. That light off. I have to remember to get batteries for my lights. All right. So now that's done, I can turf those. Close that. And shuffle a little bit closer over here. And that way, I can talk to you in the nice, silky smooth, sultry voice as we finish up the stream for tonight. No, I wouldn't do that because that would probably make you all feel uncomfortable. And I probably sound very foolish speaking like that. So what we're gonna do, the first is we're gonna stop the YouTube stream. All of you over on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you.